Hello, Fredak here. Fred ACC, all one word. Alrighty, this is the Kentucky Oaks preview. Kentucky Oaks preview, which is going to be happening this Friday at Churchill Downs. We're starting to amass our information and put everything together. Tomorrow I will be posting some thoughts on Oaks Day. First, let me thank you all for being here, and let me just explain a little bit about Fredak to you. If you take a look at Fredak's past postings, you can see that Fredak back in October posted something on generational wealth. Mentioned something called XRP in the cryptocurrency world. 2 months later, up over 600%. Nothing wrong, nothing shabby about that. Alrighty. And 2 months later, Fredak was posting something about the Stupid Bowl, the Super Bowl. You go back and look, it's all there. The posting that I put detailed why the Philadelphia Eagles were mathematically the right play in the Super Bowl. Be that as it all may all seem, and I thank you all for being here today. If you know one thing, those of you who do subscribe to Fredak, and I hope you subscribe because you're going to probably make some monies. With Fredak, it's all about what is the right mathematical thing to play. So on the Kentucky Oaks, actually you could take a look at last year, about 1 year ago when I started this channel, Fredak posted something about the Kentucky Oaks. Torpedo Anna, that was the horse that I focused in on, which I thought was a good value play at 4-1 or better. The reason why Kentucky Oaks Day on Friday and Kentucky Derby Day on Saturday is phenomenal is because the pools are huge. So the person that plays a $10, $20, $200 straight pick 3, pick 4, pick 5, you're not affecting the payouts all that much. Whereas on the lesser days, midweek, at the smaller tracks, there's not that big of a liquidity pool there, which is why I strongly profess to take a certain enjoyment to following the day trading of the stock market, which is where this site is going to be going. So if you're all about the aesthetics, you're in the wrong place. If you want knowledge, knowledge is power. Fredak will be posting tomorrow night something on the Kentucky Oaks, and Friday night something for the Kentucky Derby. A little bit of wind picking up over here. It's okay. Why is that all important? Well, I need to know what the track conditions are, who's going to be in the races, who's not in the race. Things change drastically on race day. That's something you need to take into account when you play the races. For example, you can have a race that looks like there's a tremendous speed duel between two of the horses, and you're playing one of the stone closers, so you're expecting this speed duel to knock each other out and set it up for your closer. But right before the race, or 10 minutes before, an hour before, the horse gets scratched, one of the two speed horses. That changes everything about the outcome of how that race is going to play out. I'm probably not going to be as big a fan of backing financially the horse that's the huge stone cold closer in the race, because he's not going to get the pace set up, a sizzling hot pace up front. With all this being said, I'm throwing a lot out there, but for the Kentucky Oaks, tomorrow night on Thursday evening, today it is Wednesday, it's about 2:30 p.m. East Coast time, I will be posting something about Oaks Day. Now for Fredak, it's all about making the monies. For me, I don't mind if it's the first race of the day, or if it's the Kentucky Oaks, or it's the Kentucky Derby. To me, the bottom line is putting money in my pocket. But that may be different for each of you out there. If you're going to be at a backyard party on Friday or at Saturday, and you want to be able to tell people, hey look, I had $10 on the winner, then bet $10 on each horse. Every horse in the race. Probably not going to financially work out well for you, but that's a thought. Well, I want to thank you all for stopping by here. I hope you take a look. Hope you subscribe. Take a look at some of my past postings. Last year's Torpedo Anna specified strongly 4-1 odds or better. He was 9-2 as they were going in the gate. Ended up at 4-1. Horse galloped, went on a huge tear, winning a whole bunch of races after that. The important thing was that I made a couple of pesos. Hopefully you did. You subscribed, you got on board with the XRP back in October. You jumped on board with the Eagles, made a little money on the Stupid Bowl. Thank you all for being here. Take a look back tomorrow. Subscribe. Don't miss out on the Kentucky Oaks preview. Gonna try and make a few quid. Thanks for being here. May all your days be winning ones.